The middle class has been suffering from a financial crisis that appears to be affecting their economic stability during the last few decades. The middle class, once a symbol of the American dream, is today struggling to make ends meet and is gradually disappearing from society. Welcome to Investing Alpha. In this video, we will look at the underlying causes of the middle class financial crisis and extinction, as well as the problems that lay ahead. Number 1. The high cost of living. The cost of products and services has risen to the point where most middle-class households are having difficulty making ends meet. This means that some previously affordable items have become prohibitively expensive. The high cost of living eats away at whatever income increase that comes over time. If the expense of what you need on a daily basis continues to rise, the best thing to do is boost your income. People in the middle and lower classes, as well as those in the working and lower classes, are feeling the effects of the high cost of things. Number 2. Stagnated income growth. Salaries have not kept pace with rising living costs. People must continue to earn the same money they have for years for a variety of economic reasons. A number of companies are unwilling to pay their employees more, resulting in stagnant wages. As a result, the only options are to find a higher paying employment or to work a second job. It's actually quite typical, but the emotional and physical strain on the people doing several jobs will undoubtedly take its toll. Number 3. Childcare expenses. Childcare is a costly undertaking, so whether or not to have children is a decision that all families must carefully examine. The cost of raising children, as well as paying for their education, can take a toll on most parents. In cases where one has education insurance coverage, things may be a bit better because tuition is covered by the insurance policy. But there are still other expenses, such as medical fees, and others that have left most people financially squeezed or with a feeling of being thrown into a corner. Number 4. Decline in employment. As technology progresses, there are operations that can be performed without the use of manual labor. This is especially true in factories and manufacturing facilities where robots or other modern technology are employed to operate machinery with little or no human intervention. As a result, there are minimal job opportunities. This primarily affects the lower and middle classes and leads to a life filled with difficulties. The hard reality is that these people must fight financially to make ends meet. Number 5. Healthcare premiums. Every individual needs to take care of their health, and sometimes that means having money to do so. The best course of action to ensure that you are covered and won't have to spend a lot of money on medical expenses is to purchase health insurance. However, the insurance rates are extremely hefty and occasionally challenging to afford, especially if you have a big family. Unfortunately, because medical expenses can be very expensive, your own funds may not be much of a help. The current epidemic has made clear how crippling health costs can be for middle-class people who frequently struggle to pay for medical and health care. Number 6. Loans and credit. You might not always have all of the money needed to buy a house or vehicle when the time comes to buy one. Therefore, for most people, the only alternative is to take out credit or a loan from a financial institution. You can leverage the lender by using your salary as security or collateral when things are first going well and you're able to make loan payments. However, time changes frequently and you can discover that the interest rate and taxes related to your loan agreement with the bank have gone up. The majority of middle-class individuals encounter this circumstance, and escaping it becomes a serious financial challenge. Number 7. Job security. Job security is extremely uncommon, particularly in the private sector. Perhaps having a job in the government can occasionally make one feel secure, but most individuals don't feel that way. For instance, during the pandemic, many people lost their jobs as a result of the collapse of most businesses. This truly occurred in a very brief period of time, and many individuals weren't ready for such occurrences. Many people discovered themselves in really unpleasant positions and without jobs. Many businesses have made the decision to close, downsize, or switch to something else, which has put many middle-class people in a difficult financial situation. Number 8. Lack of policies. To deal with the financial struggles facing the middle class, policies that target citizen welfare can be introduced in the form of regulations. It is possible to customize bank interest rates, withholding tax, and other rules to help people and prevent unfair use of healthcare subsidies. Insurance can help lower the currently high prices charged. The objectives of the policy directives should be to manage the welfare of the middle class, which may also affect the lower class. The lack of adapt policies, which is prevalent in most nations, creates an unhealthy environment that prevents people from prospering financially. In order to ensure that rules are properly understood and implemented, people must be trained and made understand them. Number 9. Overborrowing and overspending. There will always be someone who enjoys borrowing money and spending it recklessly. A person may occasionally borrow without a clear plan in order to make ends meet while keeping a certain status, but ultimately ends up losing everything. Unless it is done poorly, borrowing is not harmful. Plan your spending before you really do it so that you may take care of the necessities first. You can choose to be cautious and spend as little money as possible by purchasing only what you need. Alternatively, save as much as you can to make sure your finances are stable and you don't need to borrow money. Number 10. Lack of planning. Some people may end up in the middle class and believe that they have achieved their dreams or ambitions. As a result, they neglect the need to preserve that status and their financial situation deteriorates. They overlook planning, which is one of the key components of financial management. If done incorrectly or not at all, planning for your finances and knowing where they go and what they are providing you in return might spell demise. Simply said, one needs to consistently focus on budgeting, fund allocation, and resource management in general. In a perfect world, one would learn from a mentor or take a few quick courses to support this. The middle class should be in a stable financial situation with either no debt or very little debt that they can comfortably handle. A member of the middle class ought to be able to retire with adequate savings and a pension. Contrarily, the current financial situation of the middle class is neither rosy nor secure, and this is mostly because of global economic shifts. We hope this video shed some light on the complex economic factors that have contributed to the challenges facing the middle class. Remember, the middle class is the backbone of our economy and society, so it's crucial that we understand the forces that are shaping its fate. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more helpful stuff. Until next time, remember to stay interested, informed, and empowered.